Hey ho guys, it's been a while since I've been on here, but like I said before, I'll come on when I have something, and if I don't, I won't. I hope that you stay, and I can understand it if you need a more balanced and frequent interaction. Totally get it. But this is me, and this is how it is. Well, some of the things that I have been doing this summer is reading a lot. I have done some work with um, opening roads. So I've been doing a lot of opening road work, not only for myself, but for some others. And I've done something a little bit different with that. I work with sigils in the opening the road work that I've used. So it's been a little bit different in the work that I've been doing. So that's been some of the things that I have been doing over the last few weeks into the summer months. Gardening a little. About time to I focused on flowers this time and herbs like my rosemary, basil, and mint. I just kind of focused on those things, and it's really about time for me to harvest some of those and dry those herbs, and I kind of use them in some of my workings or teas and stuff like that. I didn't really do any vegetables this year because I had some things to do and I wasn't sure how much time I was going to have. The major thing that I really want to talk about today is I've been going back and reading some of the books that I've read before from some of the powerhouses, the female powerhouses in magic to me. I'm reading Jambalaya, and I'm reading that with some members of our coven, so I'll talk about that at a later time. But I've read it before, but it's been some years, maybe 8 or 9 years ago. I'm not exactly, but it was some years ago. And it's good to sometimes reread these things because the information, uh, it just reinforces a lot of things. And that book is really good, and I'll probably do another separate review on that. But the other book, but it's good to be reading both of these books at the same time because it's two different perspectives on two different kind of magic basically, but they both have some very profound and powerful things in their books. So the other person that I am reading now, or the book that I'm reading, is Spiral Dance by Starhawk. And this is a classic. The one that I have is the 20th anniversary edition. And I'm really enjoying this book. Now, I have never read this book, but I've heard so much about it that I did want to read it. And I think it's a really good book. And it's worth the read if you haven't not read it. Starhawk was a activist into the goddess religion. I think she might have more of a Wiccan focus. Not sure if that's still the same. Into ecology, feminism. And the book basically is a reflection of who she is, basically. And now she's an elder, and I think she's still doing things, as far as I know, talks and that kind of thing. It was one of the foundational books back in the day. I think it may have been written along the times of 1979, kind of focused on goddess worship, feminism, and spirituality. The core things of the book was like the goddess religion, which, I believe in the goddess and the god in that history, and, how, we as basically witches, talks about the witch hunts and those things, and ecofeminism connects the domination of nature with the oppression of women. So that is some of the things in the book. As far as philosophy, it explains Wicca as a life-affirming, nature-honoring path rather than a fictional trope. Talks about things practically we can do in magic. It has a lot of visualization, trance work, and protection or casting circles in there. Offers rituals And the thing that I like about it is why she does it. Like sometimes people show you how to do it, but there's the why in that too. It also kind of breaks down some of the seasonal sabbats and that kind of thing. It just was really profound. One of the things that I really enjoyed about her in this book was her redefinition of power. And she talked about power over and power from within. And power over, this is the traditional hierarchy power found in patriarchal and capitalist societies. It relies on control and dominance and coercion. Whereas power from within, this is a spiritual and psychological power found in connection, creativity, self-actualization. It is power to manifest change, heal, and bond with community without dominating others, which has a more witchy kind of vibe. Hate to say it like that, but that is kind of what I feel how most witches would feel. She talked about divinity not being in a distant heaven. It's woven into the physical earth around us, in us, and those kind of things. The goddess is immanent. So if you're that physical body that we have sometimes with Christianity, sometimes I think we see God as this person with a physical body. It's different than that. And that we live in a material world, and it's just more fluid than that. Had some myths and ritual in there. Magic as social activism, that was talked about, because I feel like even back then and today, for me, part of my craft is to be a social activist and to be socially involved with what's going on. And then she, in the end of the book, which I'm still reading the book, I'm going to be honest, she kind of goes over, brings it back, because this is the 20th anniversary edition that I had. So she talks about some changes that I think she had near the end of the book. So it just was so well-rounded. It still is as I'm reading it. A lot of the principles still apply to today. It kind of helps me after reading the book, or as I'm reading the book, to kind of refocus my practice and kind of what is important. And that's always a question for me with my practice. What is important? What is my intention? Where am I going with that? Ever so often, I like to evaluate my practice and ask those questions. What's my intention here? What's my focus? What am I doing? And why am I doing it? Because, I mean, I don't want to just be out here practicing the craft and it's all for looks and likes. I need to practice the craft for my evolution, and hopefully for I'm one in a million that is hoping to evolve the whole of humanity, to have some type of effect for the positive, you know, to see the positive change in humanity as I change. And sometimes my magic is social activism, as it were. So it's all of those things. That's all of the things that I am. And after reading this book, it kind of helped me to realize that this is all of who I am. Your magic should almost reflect all of who you are. Your likes, your dislikes, and everybody may not like or dislike the same things I like or dislike, but I feel like your magic should reflect your life. Who you are, what are you trying to do, what are you trying to accomplish, where are you going? My magic should reflect that. And I feel like, in a way, that's what that book is about, helping us see that our magic should have some type of positive change on you as a person, you as a human being, and uh, going for positive change in the world. Because I feel like as magical practitioners, it doesn't always have to be about you. It all should be, what are you here to do? What are you giving back to the world also? So it is, as I complete this book, I feel like it's great. It is one of those books I think is a classic that you should read. Yes, there's some things in there that may have worked well in the 70s, but it's a lot of things in there that still can work to this present moment, and a lot of wisdom to be shared. So if you haven't read it, it's a good read, and I would suggest you read it. You be blessed, and I'll talk to you soon.